We believe that with God's love and help that the homeless can find their way home. If you just look at the history of the Raleigh Rescue Mission, which goes back 55 years this year, and we just had a small house and fed a few people and had a couple of rooms and had some chairs and had a stove, and those were basically what were served back in the early days. A lot back in the late 50s, early 60s were basically men. There were some women, and most of them were alcoholics. Gosh, the needs have really changed a lot in the last 50 years. We have domestic violence, we have the mental health, and there's just a lot of emotional things. And then obviously, as we have experienced in the last 6 or 8 years, just some changes in our economy, and we've seen people that have lost their jobs and for the first time have all of a sudden been homeless. When a person walks to that door, we know that there's a purpose behind that they came there for a reason. And everybody that comes into the mission needs help. And a lot of times there's shame and guilt, and probably the most thing is that the person sometimes has lost hope. You know, our desire is when they come in that you come in and we're gonna love on you, and we're gonna provide you good food, we're gonna provide you a nice place to stay. But also we're gonna work with you and helping you get through some of those challenges you've got, or obstacles, or things that you never thought you could do, and that's what we're here for. We're there to work with men, women, and children through our housing, which we have the long-term program. We also have the emergency shelter, and that's somebody just comes in for the night, needs to get off the street. But also we surround them with some medical assistance. We also surround them with the ability for any type of education they need. But then also we're there to provide and help the mom with their kids while they're working on themselves. We've got a couple of men right now that one was with us about 12 years ago, and every Monday he's going to be working in the kitchen. He comes in, he's got a job and other things doing, but he's coming back in and giving back. We had another individual who came in that you'd think life would ever change, just really an alcoholic for a long, long time. We worked with him, his life changed, and got him a steady job that he just loves. But then also he comes back every Friday to speak to his counselor and just to keep up with what's going on, kind of a check-in, accountability. We see the same thing working with women and children, and particularly our children. When the mom comes in, those kids are just horrified. They don't know any different. They've been here, they've been there, they've been through different things. They haven't been in school. We get them at our Children's Development Center, and those teachers just bring them in and just love on them and start spending time with them, and then start teaching them. We had 7 kids last year that came out of that CDC and went to kindergarten for the first time, and they were ready. We're just there to be obedient. We're there to do what God's called us to do. And then we see the results from that, and we see changed lives. We see people actually transformed.